Today I am at Skyline Park. Came over here because I haven't been here in a while. Wanted to check out the water conditions, and it's yucky. That's kind of what I was expecting over here. I was hoping that it would clear up as the temperatures got better, but apparently not. So we'll see what I can do. Probably going to be using more baits that move around or have some scent just to draw some strikes. Since nobody's here right now, just do a quick few casts from the pier and see if there's anything close by. I've got the Charlie Brewer slider grub on here, left over from Razor Ridge. That ought to work as far as having some vibration that the trout can sense. You can see it's pretty bad as far as the visibility. Might be 1 or 2 feet. There's a fish that hit. That was pretty close up. That could be a sunfish. Looks like the reeds have been pulled out around here. I don't know. That was a trout. Let's see. I just realized I'm casting this purple grub, so I'm going to switch over to something else with it. Let's see. That might work. It's looks like pumpkin seed and orange. This doesn't work. I'm going to switch over to spinnerbait. Just here to have a little fun and want to feel something tugging my line. I ought to switch to a lighter jig head, but I figure if I'm going to switch, I'm going to switch to a spinnerbait. Kind of like the range of this also, based on what I experienced over at Razor Ridge. Since these aren't bass, I'm not expecting them to be up close. So I need to find somewhere where I can make a longer cast. I doubt that they care about structure as much. They seem to be more open. This drain is putting out a lot of the mud, so I'm going to move. There we go. It's very overcast today, so it's kind of hard to see through the water. Oh, there's another bite. Okay, well that's 2. Oh, they're just short biting this thing for whatever reason. That, or again, I'm back to fishing for sunfish. There is a bunch in here. Of course, they may be just coming in from the side now that I think about it. If they were short striking, this tail would be gone. They're probably just hitting it as they sense it, just because it's hard for them to see it from far away, so they're just going full blast into it from the side is what I'm guessing. Time to cover more water. I am getting a lot of bites, but no takers, and this bait is not big at all, so I think what I need to do if I want to stay with this bait is switch to a 1/32 ounce so I can slow down the retrieve, give them a chance to catch up to it. Or I can also raise my rod tip. Try that for a little bit. I might just switch to like a honey worm on a bobber. I want to find out what these are. Okay, it is honey worm on a bobber time. It's easier to do because all I have to do is just swap out the bait. So that's what I'm using. They come attached like this, and you just tear off the end of one of them if you can find the end. Now my only issue here is that I have a 1/16 ounce sinker or jig head, which means that my float is going to be mostly under water again. If you haven't figured out, the joys of fishing in this pond, especially on this side, is you have all of these cars going by, so you have a lot of road noise. Not the most peaceful fishing experience unless you bring like a headset. Typical of these ponds, I'm going to start around 5 feet and work my way up. Got to open enough spot for it. Just remembered that my cigar floats don't have a slot through them, so I'm going to have to go with a trout magnet. That will not really hold up this one, I don't think, but we'll find out. Barely staying on the surface. Nope, there it is. I think it's sunfish. That, or I have the bobber. Wait, there, nope, yeah, it's sunfish. They're just holding it down. We're going to raise it up a little bit so that maybe they take it in. Of course, in hindsight, I could have been so far down that it was just actually dragging the bottom, and so that pulled the float down. So it could be a number of things. I was moving the line and reeling it in. There's something taking it. There we go. The drag's loose. There we go. Oh, looks like a decent one. That's a good size. Just want a picture of you. There you go. Looks like you've been hit by something. Anyhow, I'm guessing that's about 11 inches. Bye-bye. see if there are bigger brothers around there. There we go. It just went down slowly. I knew that it had to be a fish. There we go. Another decent one, probably about 10 inches, I'm guessing. There you go. Yeah, that's about 10 inches. Bye-bye. Okay, we're gonna cast to a different spot so that we don't spook whatever fish is there. Coming from a bass fishing background, I tend to like to cover water, so I don't just leave the bobber out there when I know that the fish are aggressive. I'm not reeling it in super fast, but I am reeling it in. And then this way I can bring the bait to them instead of the other way around. That was a fish, I think. No, I think it's dragging. I think it's time to drop the jig head down a little bit more. I may have caught the aggressive ones already. That, and I may have to just soak the bait a little bit. Quite a few people here today. A lot of people still coming in. Guess people thought it was a good thing to show up during lunchtime also. I like fishing in the clear water because then I get to see what the trout do. And for what I've seen, they school in 2s and 3s, sometimes up to 6. 1 or 2 of them may hit the bait and then they move off. So just letting your bait soak after it's been hit once, you could be spending quite a bit of time, just my opinion. There we go. No! Took my bait. Oh, I didn't take my bait, just got me excited. There it is. You can see I had something on there. It was just biting on the end. So I'm going to keep fishing this side for a little bit to let the fish on my right side get a little more calm, and then I'll switch back again. Well, this was meant to be a short video or a short fishing trip. I just happened to be recording it. So if you come out to Skyline Pond, expect noise like the noise behind me. Expect that you're going to have very dingy water. My recommendation, if you like more fast action, is to use a spinner bait fairly low to the bottom, or use something like what I'm doing, which is a honey worm under a bobber and just working it back slowly. There's a lot of bites, but I'm not sure why I'm not catching them. Some of it could be that I'm just not used to this shallow edge that's over here. And the other part is it could also be that they're just short striking it because they really can't sight it very well. They're just trying to hit it. And then of course there's also, it could be just sunfish, because I know that there's tons of those in this particular pond. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you get a chance to come out here. Even though there's a lot of people, there's a lot of different spaces to be able to fish, and this isn't the only spot that you can catch fish. I got some taps towards the pier, and where the other people are on the rocks and so forth, I've actually had fish over there before too. Anyhow, tight lines. Oh, we got trash over here. Wow, it's very deep over here. There we go. Right next to shore. There he is. That was literally right there where I was saying that it was very deep, close to shore. Bye-bye. I'm guessing that was about 8 inches. Pick up this trash before we head out, if I can get to it.